house, and tonight we have a very unique program going on tonight. Esther?
Yes.
And can you tell me a little brief about what makeup is your outfit tonight? Because
my dear, this makeup is one of those things that comes from Kuta, one of the speaking, one of the tribes.
Your place in Nigeria, right?
Of course, in Nigeria, Ogun State, Nigeria.
Okay, tonight, can you talk to?
Thank you very much, viewers out there. We celebrate you once again. My name is Esther Ujang, and I'm here with my colleague, Mr. Ufa. We are here at the BWS house, right in Kampala, Uganda.
East Africa.
Yes, East Africa. Thank you, my dear. Today we are having a very unique program coming up. Like, it is an exciting moment for us here in the BWS house. Why? Because we are having something spectacular. Before I continue, see what I have with me is a 10-inch Android computer tablet called the No Dropout. Thank you. Now let me quickly tell you what we have for tonight. We are having the Black Wall Street End of Business Year Review and Strategy Meeting, where we are going to be, talking about how we've been able to run the year as an organization, the challenges faced, the beauty of it, all the different investments that popped up to the course of the year, our investors, the benefit of all the investments and everything. A whole lot is going to be taking place tonight at the BWS house, which is going to be anchored directly by the chairman himself.
Cash out, that's what Africans want to hear, cash out, right?
I always smile also when I hear that thing,
wow.
cash out.
Wow.
The cash out he's talking about actually comes from the lifetime UPAP, which gives you an opportunity to cash out a whooping $30,000.
So tonight is wonder of all reality. So as an African, get excited, and believe you, a lot of packages with depth information about the Black Wall Street community.
Exactly, and you have a lot to benefit about.
And just like Mr. Yufa always tell you, if you don't pay attention to what is happening in the Black Wall Street community, God will not forgive you. Not just God of Africa alone, God, because a lot of problems in Africa, capital flight, and a lot is happening and it's affecting Africa, and that's what the Black Wall Street community is out to. So guys, pay attention, a lot is happening already. The contract assistant teenager employment is also ongoing on the Black Wall Street community. The chairman is going to put more information about this out there tonight. So take you to your TV and all your social media platforms so you can have in-depth information about what is happening tonight.
Exactly. As an organic investor, you already know what the program for tonight is going to look like because the message was sent to you as an investor. If you've not checked your mailbox, kindly take this time to do so because you'll be able to follow us detailed. I'm telling you that is why it's extremely important. I repeat it again. Go through your mails to be able to pick the message that was sent to you. Everything that's going to happen tonight at the BWS house are already listed, so you'll be able to follow accordingly. Thank you.
Africa
first.
Women first, ladies first.
Really? It's okay.
Ladies first.
Tonight is going to be an amazing night.
A very wonderful night.
I, for one, as a person, I cannot even wait to hear all that the chairman is going to be dishing out tonight.
A lot of information will be put out to these Africans, and believe you me, anybody who did not pay attention to this, God will not forgive such person.
I told you.
Always talk about the comment that if you don't pay attention with what is happening on the Black Wall Street communities, God will not forgive you.
Oh my God. We need to hear the
7 million jobs for the teenagers.
7 million, my brother.
Across Africa, 1.2 supermarket outlet, service outlet, also on the Black Wall Street community. A lot.
Wow. I'm so excited already. Wow.
Yeah, come on guys,
Okay, right now we are upstairs to get into the chairman's office because what? He is the one that holds the night. And we need to do what? Officially, with honor, bring our chairman out to be able to address us.
Okay guys, you can come with me while we step into chairman's office.
Yes.
Come with me.
Wow. What an amazing environment. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
Good, sir. Are you ready? Because the show is about you and
go.
about the people listening to you tonight.
Let's go and do it.
This is amazing. I told you guys we're coming for the chairman, and boom, the chairman is ready.
He's ready, and we are taking him right away.
Okay.
Don't touch that dial. You have a lot to benefit tonight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
And good evening, Africa.
Good evening.
Thank you very much. My name is William Eze. I'm the Director of Corporate Communications of the Black Wall Street. We are very sorry to have started this meeting a little late. We had actually projected to start about 2 hours before now, but we had some technical hitches. But all the same, it's actually working on the advantage of those of us from Nigeria. I think it should be about what time now? 6:48 in Nigeria. And I'm sure that a lot of them are back home now, so it's actually a good time to start. All right, so we are here today, and it's actually an exciting moment for us here in the Black Wall Street community, Kampala, Uganda, a journey that began 9.5 or 9.75 years ago. A whole lot of time has passed. And just like we do every other year, this year again we are in the end of our business year review, and of course our strategy meeting. And actually we have come at that point where we have to manage a lot of the expectations of the people who are a part of our community, our organic investors most especially. And of course every other stakeholder that we have out there in Africa, and then Africa in diaspora. And of course, you understand what the Black Wall Street is all about. The Black Wall Street, that is a pro-African social enterprise initiative, and actually declaring the economic war. The very first African economic war was declared by Charles N. Lambert, my chairman, my mentor, my leader, and our leader here. And of course, it is because of this declaration that we are all here today. And that declaration, that economic war, is what has opened up a whole vista, a whole spectrum of economic opportunities. And of course, you know that we are leveraging on the capital flight that is actually leaving Africa all these years to reverse and alter the balance of trade that has not been in the favor of Africa. And of course, it came with a whole lot of activities, and most importantly, the UPAP series, the UPAP investment schemes, the program purchase investment scheme that began earlier in the year. And the COVID pandemic has been lethal to the whole globe. It affected a whole lot of businesses worldwide. But God saw us through that whole event, and we are still here. And of course, a whole lot of events are all lined up for review. And of course, we have some of them like the social media platform. We have the teenage movement. Of course, you might have heard us say that we are about to engage about 7.2 million teenagers in our platform. We also have a social media platform that's about coming up. And of course, you must have heard about our automated system functionality, where we'll go full dependent on the AI. And of course, I'm sure you must have heard about the cash out. This is where you get excited right now. Is that not so? Yeah. Exactly. I know many of you will be excited to hear about the cash out. Because of the dividends, a lot of people have been calling asking if they could make withdrawals of the dividends that have been accruing in their dashboard. Well, I'm not going to say too much. I would like to take on the job of my chairman and my leader. I think at this point I've just hand over officially welcome the leader of Africa's first economic war, Charles N. Lambert, to take over from here. Thank you very much, sir. It's really an honor.
Good evening, everybody. So we are going to stand to your feet. I'm going to be having a good mood today. Stand to your feet, my friend. And you're going to stand to your feet for a little while. You're not standing to your feet in the first place. Well, good evening, everybody. Those of you who are not here with us physically, wherever you're watching from, To be honest with you, you are the reason that we're here. You are the reason that we are making this presentation tonight. It's not about the people here. We've been talking to each other over the past couple of months, but we haven't spoken to you about anything for a while now. And it was, of course, very important that at the end of the year, that we review what we have been doing in the past year. For a lot of you who have invested a lot of money here, a lot of people have, I'll be honest with you. Some over the years, some this year, some last year, some a couple of years ago. Some have sustained this platform for 9 straight years. Every time there's something going on, they will always find a way to support and keep encouraging the initiative. So you are the reason why we're doing this. Normally we wouldn't do this. We'll just go and eat and drink and say Merry Christmas to ourselves. But we feel that's irresponsible for us to do that. And that's why we're doing this, to give you a clear explanation of what's going on with the mission that you have supported. Also what's going on with your returns, when is it going to happen, what are all these different things you've been hearing. Because most of you, of course, you have your own businesses, so you're not really following up with what we're doing into that detail. But you've heard about different things. You've heard about cash out, dividend, tablets, teenage employment, market policy, demand, all these things have not been able, they've not made too much sense to most of you. To some, it has made sense. Some parts of it, of course, have made sense. But the total understanding of it is what you've never had. And what we're going to do tonight is to try and give you a proper orientation or insight into what's happening, the different facets of the economic war, and how it concerns you, how we're moving forward, where we are, what we're trying to do. So I'm going to go through about 11 to 13 different topics tonight. You're going to be very patient, and you're going to listen all the way through. Of course, the video is going to be available, and you can watch it again tomorrow and the day after. But we're going to make sure that tonight you have a very good understanding of where we are with what we're doing. Because from next year, it's going to be action time. And it's going to be difficult to catch up if you don't understand this tonight. You'll just be seeing too much action, and you'll be wondering what's going on. You'll feel like it's not the same organization. It is. So that's why you need to understand what it is tonight, so that when the action begins next year, you're not surprised or you don't feel like a stranger. Yet you're an investor here. Last year I had a chance, a wonderful opportunity to also do the same thing for 2 days, 22nd and 23rd of December. But this year we're doing just for 1 day, mostly because of the show that I did. So a lot of information has already gone out, and all the live videos. There's a lot of information that's gone out, so people have general ideas. I don't have to do a 2 days convention to explain stuff anymore. 1 day today will be just enough. Before I go any further, I'm going to say a very short prayer, and then we can get on with this. Is a full business presentation. A lot of you have never attended shareholders conferences or shareholders end of year stuff, and this is how it works. You have to come and give a 90 minutes to almost 2 hours presentation on what's been going on for the whole year. So you have to be patient with it, because as a shareholder, that's what you are. An organic investor is a Black Wall Street shareholder, is what you are. It's just that because it's called passionate capitalism, we're going to avoid using some of those terms, but it's really just what you are. It's a Black Wall Street shareholder. You're the one that gets to profit from our efforts. You're the one that gets to say, yeah, I supported that thing, and now it's successful, so I'm profiting. And that's what makes you a shareholder. And then today I'm going to spend the next hour and a half, something around those numbers, to give you a good idea of what we're doing. Heavenly Father, we give you praise and thank you so much for this wonderful evening, Lord. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to the people who have been our greatest support, those who have put their own resources behind this movement. Thank you for the opportunity to be here with the core members of the team. Thank you, King of Glory. Thank you, Ancient of Days. Thank you for the clear direction of what we're talking about tonight. Lord, give understanding to the simple. Give understanding to the simple. In the name of Yeshua the Christ we pray. Amen. Give it up to the King of Glory. Well, first and foremost, I really again want to appreciate all our organic investors. You are the reason we're here. You're the reason. We refuse to collect money from imperialists. Most of you know I'm a British citizen. I can easily fly to the UK, America, Canada, and go and start making presentations. And of course, I'll get people to support me financially, but we refuse to do that. We said no Africans must be organic investors. Until all the money in Africa is finished, before we talk about bringing a foreigner to be a shareholder in Africa's first organic economic movement. We refuse to do that. And because we refuse to bring foreigners to become shareholders here, you have the opportunity to be a shareholder of definitely the largest financial and economic platform in Africa's history. Now, but for the most part, some of you don't understand what it is that you're supporting. Some do, but not to a clear understanding. The first thing we have to understand is that this is the end of, we're coming to the end of capitalism as an economic system. That's not news. Even Americans will tell you that they're coming to the end of capitalism. They don't know what to do next. Because capitalism has failed. The pursuit of highest aspiration, the winner takes all mentality, survival of the fittest economic model has failed. Because the fittest have survived and shine, become superstars. What about those who were not fit? When you have an economic philosophy that says survival of the fittest, what about those who are not fit? Like Africans. Africans are not fit economically. We don't know how to compete. We can't compete with Americans. We can't compete with Europeans, Chinese. We can't. And because it's survival of the fittest, these ones come and defeat us. And then because of the fittest, what we can do? We remain in poverty. We say, well, it's survival of the fittest. It's called free market capitalism. Free market capitalism means somebody can come and monopolize the whole thing, keep everybody in poverty. And the justification when that happens is, it is survival of the fittest. Why are you complaining? It's free market. Keep quiet. So that's the response. Africa has no infrastructure. They say, well, it's survival of the fittest. You guys should try and grow your economies. Africa has horrible unemployment. They say, well, it's survival of the fittest. You guys should find a way. Maybe get some loans. So no matter what we say is going on in our society, the response they will give us is, it is called capitalism and is therefore survival of the fittest. How long are we going to keep saying survival of the fittest? And now the so-called fittest, I don't want to go off topic, but the so-called fittest are now preparing to go and live in the moon. The people who think they are the fittest. Those ones that have made those billions of dollars. Those companies have made $1 trillion. Look at a company like Apple. It's worth $1 trillion. Most of its resources comes from Congo. And Congo is the second poorest country in the world. So how can Apple get most of its resources from Congo? And Congo is the second poorest country in the world. People don't have water in Congo. People don't have healthcare in Congo. There's no electricity there. There's no unemployment everywhere. So again, what is the answer when you say, Apple, you're making all this money from Congo's resources. Why are you not helping them? Apple say, well, it is survival of the fittest. Look at Nigeria with all the crude oil that we have. Over the past 20, 30 years, people always say, it is the politicians who stole the money. My friend, you're joking. It is the oil corporations who stole the money. They give the stipends. They give just like money you give on the road when the police is on the road. You take change and give police. That's what they give to the politicians. It is not the politicians who stole Nigerians hundreds of billions of dollars in oil and gas. I can guarantee you it's not them. They got peanuts from it. They got like little scratch of it as handout from the people who took all the money. ExxonMobil, Shell, Chevron, they're the ones that took the money. And they are foreign corporations. And if you ask them, why do you take all these hundreds of billions and this place, all these places in Nigeria, they run down, they have nothing, the answer would be
survival of the fittest.
So survival of the fittest, everybody has said it's not working. For your information, America has a lot of their citizens who don't have health care. Right now, the COVID-19 period has exposed again America and the survival of the fittest. All those people here that die in America, most of them are black people and brown people. America call it black and brown, meaning Africans, mostly. The black people are mostly Africans, African descent. They're the ones dying from COVID-19. Why? They don't have health insurance. When you don't have health insurance, they have to rush you to emergency. There's no proper health care, so COVID-19 will easily kill you. And most of the deaths have been disproportionately people that are black or people that are from Mexico. They call them brown people. And when you say America, why? You have 40 million people who don't have health care. People are suffering. Minorities are dying. Black people are dying in your society. Yet you're the capitalists, you're the superstars, you're worth $20 trillion. Why are people dying in your society? They will say, survival of the fittest. So you see, from all the way from America to Africa, capitalism has failed everybody. Failed Indians, failed Bangladesh, failed Pakistan, failed South America, failed Americans themselves. So what we've been doing for the past 9 years is to create a replacement for capitalism. So understand that what is a business? If you think we're a business, you're out of your mind. You don't know where you are. We are the thing that will change every business. Every. We're changing here. This platform will swallow everything that you know in this Africa. Beginning from Africa. Then we get to the rest of the world. Because we have found a solution to the nightmare called free market capitalism. To the nightmare called survival of the fittest. To the nightmare called winner takes all. How can you have an economic philosophy that says winner takes all? Does that mean the rest don't need any part of the economy? I mean, when you say winner takes all, what about the people who didn't win? So you see, that economic system is dumb, is stupid, is silly. Because you're creating enemies for the winners. You're creating people that will hate the winners. You're creating people that will stab the winners, that will rob the winners, that will kidnap the winners. You're creating a very chaotic society when you say winner takes all. So we're replacing that. And that's what we've been building for the past 9 years, a system that can replace global capitalism. And I'm happy to announce to you that this year, the 9th year this year, we came to the final conclusion of that building process. One of the things I've enjoyed doing, because I don't know if it's a little bit of background on me. Of course, as a kid, I was pretty clever academically. So everyone wanted me to be a doctor. And then I got led somehow to say, no, let me go and study business. So I started studying business. And then somebody said, oh, you're kind of wasting your time. You're too intelligent to be studying business. And so you listen, I'm going to apply that so-called intelligence. I should have applied the medicine into business. I said, that would be very interesting. Let's see how that works out. I've debunked a lot of things in business. With time, as I publish my works, you get to understand the things I have debunked. And I debunk things from the highest authority. Every business theory I've debunked has come from the higher. Of course, I've debunked capitalism, which is the highest thing you can debunk. But also, before I got to debunking capitalism, there were other things that I have debunked before. One of them is called the product life cycle. The product life cycle, of course, the business theory. And remember, all business theories are a function of the capitalism theory. So most business theories come from the West. So the Western theory in business, or rather a business theory, but of course the origin is the West, and the real origin is capitalism. But this theory says the product life cycle has been starting from initiation to growth, to maturity, to decline, and to death. And I debunked that theory. And I said before a product is put in the marketplace, since marketing or business development is all efforts geared at consumer satisfaction and at profit to the firm, that means the thought process of how to satisfy the consumer is the beginning of the product. You see, but the business theory says the beginning of the product is initiation of the product in the marketplace. And I debunked that. And I said, no, there's a development phase before the initiation phase. And most of the professors I spoke to in the UK and places I believe came to agree with me. Yeah, the thing does not start at bringing it to the market. How can it start at bringing it to the market? It starts from when you initially thought about the product, from the production, the research that was done to make it the product, the brand decision, the logo decision, the positioning of the product, how you want. Everything that you decided before you initiated in the marketplace is called the development phase. So I added another circle to the product life cycle called the development phase. And that development phase again is most proven in our organization because we've never initiated this organization. We're about to initiate this organization in the first week of January. We've never initiated it before. But then we've been around for 9 years doing what? We've answered so many different names in the past 9 years. We've had so many different confusions on how to approach this in the past 9 years. So you can see it's been a 9 years of development phase. It's like Thomas Edison that took 199 experiments to get the light bulb. Or Michael Faraday, who also took 199 experiments. So we have to go through another experimental phase to understand how this is going to work. The first time I made a speech on compassionate capitalism was in 2004 in Atlanta, Georgia, in America. The Americans were clapping for me, but I didn't quite have a clear grasp of what I was saying. Of course, the detail, how it's going to be implemented. So when they were clapping for me, I told them, I said, why are you clapping for me? They said, well, this is too wonderful. I said, no, but it's not. I have not proven it. It's only wonderful when I do what? When I prove it. When I implement the thing, then it's wonderful. So that's why we now went through this period of knowing how it's going to be implemented. Because to replace an economic system, I don't think you understand what we're saying. Yeah. It's too huge, I think, to do. To replace, it's going to affect the banking, affect insurance, affect investments, affect returns, affect job creation, affect cost of product. It's going to affect everything that you know. Why are we doing it? Somebody will say, why do you want to do something like that? Well, Africa spends $2 trillion on our buying decisions every year. Yet we're poor. We have no jobs. We have no health care. We have no schools. Our villages are rubbish. We have nothing that we can call our own, yet we spend $2 trillion every single year. So that means we have to look into our buying decision as a way to find our deliverance from poverty. Because our biggest power is our buying decision. Our governments don't have that much money. Our government's budget on the average, some African countries, the government budget is $1 billion a year. You heard me, yeah. People like South Sudan, $1 billion, Uganda, $4 billion. Other countries, $2 billion, $3 billion. Maximum, I think Nigeria is like $20 billion. These are all peanuts. The people spend $2 trillion, not billion. The government budget is the highest budget, I think, is Egypt, Nigeria, 25 billion, South Africa, 20 billion, that's the highest ones in Africa, a year. So you see, the government is not the problem, neither is the government the solution. If there is $2 trillion flowing around the economy, and the government only has 20 billion, then the government is the last person we should look to for economic deliverance of the continent. So we go after the actual economy, the real money, that $2 trillion is what we want to go after. Not just the $2 trillion here, but also the ones the African Americans have, because they are the same thing as us. They are our closest allies. They are the only allies we're supposed to have. But because our governments are not independent, our governments are ruled by imperial masters, because of that, our governments don't have business with African Americans. Our government's business ends with their European partners. So our problem is too much, my dear. But we have solutions that we can use this platform that connects us to our African American people, where we can now leverage on our total of $4 trillion purchasing power and see what we can do in reshaping Africa's image, Africa's future, Africa's direction. So understanding that we have finished the 9 years of putting this together, and most of you know 9 means is over. When the baby is 9 months old, the pregnancy is 9 months old, you have a baby. Nothing you can do about it. So after 9 years now, we're finishing 9 years right now. We just ended it. This is the 9th year, it's finishing this year. So as we move into January to the anniversary, will be the 11th, we should be clocking the 10th year. Before we clock the 10th year, then we should have initiated that. Because the development phase is now over, and we're now moving towards initiation. From initiation, it goes to growth very quickly. From growth, then it goes to maturity overnight. Maturity means we're now a household name, door to door all across Africa. And that's where we intend to go with this. And that's why you have made a very fantastic decision by making an investment on this platform. But again, we just don't talk here. We like to look at the numbers, look at exactly how we're approaching it. So this next thing I want to talk about is the economic war itself and the supermarket policy. And every time we talk about the whole 14 topics, we're going to be very short on each one of them because there are videos for you to watch and get details on all these things. Now, our approach to reinstalling a new economic system in Africa that defeats capitalism, because capitalism has destroyed us, is either we defeat capitalism or we remain worse than we are. Not that we remain the way we are, we're going to get worse. Why are we going to get worse? We're going to get worse because our population in Africa is doubling. We are the only people in the world projected to double in population. So if we're about to double in population, we better have plans on how people are going to eat, how people are going to have jobs, how people are going to be able to move around, have a future, plan for their retirement, stuff like that. We better have a different plan, because the plan we have right now, where we are controlled by imperialists, where we're playing capitalism and people come and use the pretext of capitalism to keep us in poverty, is not something, it's not sustainable. We can't continue that anymore. We have to look for that $4 trillion we have as a race in purchasing power to bring development to us. Now, talking about it, that's what the economic war is all about. And talking about the economic war, the principal way to execute that, and we've explained in many videos, is the supermarket policy. And we're going to have 1.2 million of these supermarkets across Africa, begin online. And then we actually, again, our automation, which I'll explain in a minute, is what drives most of this. Now, the 1.2 million supermarkets is 2,000 per jurisdiction. And if you don't know, we have divided Africa into 600 jurisdictions. Each jurisdiction caters for about 2 million people. And those 600 jurisdictions, each one has 2,000 of those supermarkets. So each of those tiny supermarkets is designed to at least appeal to 1,000 different people. So we'll be able to reach every single person in Africa through our network of 1.2 million supermarkets, 2,000 in every jurisdiction. Now, what this simply means is that we're also going to, because the supermarket creates 7.2 million jobs. Some of you might have heard that before. We're creating 7.2 million jobs for people from the age of 16 to 29. From the age of 16 to 29. So most of our teenage program is from about 15 to 19 for the teenage program. Then after 19, then we have the supermarket policy program, which is for people from 21 to about 28. Then we have another program for the corporate advisors who are going to drive onto this platform. This Age of Africans is a right set of people to guide us into the future, where we're going from here. And this is exactly how the real war zone is fought, with the 1.2 million supermarket outlets, and they're driven by 7.2 million workers. So as an American investor, remember the American investor, the UPAP, is only 20,000 slots. And so it's not even 20,000 people, it's 20,000 slots. Some people already have 10, some will have 20, some will have 3. So instead of a day, we have a very small number of organic investors compared to what we're doing. Organic investors, what would be, I don't know what the exact figure right now is, but it couldn't be anything more than the 13,000, 14,000 people. So, and then we're talking about supermarket policy, 1.2 million supermarkets, 7 million people driving them. So that's a lot of revenue to feed just a very little amount of people. So that's why you see that we pegged that thing at $100 a month, because when it kicks in, for how few the organic investors are, there's no amount of money people will be able to withdraw from that system. That is the truth. But we're going to peg it. Of course, we're already pegged it at the maximum of what you can get. But you need to know that based on what we are working on, the amount of people who are organic investors here are so few. So there's no way you're not going to get enough to be happy about. The next conversation is about the 3D platform final position. Like I said, we have gone through the development phase, and that meaning we're able to get fine-tune our position on every single thing. We're able to get to where we say, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it, this is how we're approaching that thing we're doing. And so I want to go through the final position of a 3D platform. Again, we also came up with the name 3D platform just about 2-3 months ago, when we finally got the whole picture at the last phase of our development. We got the whole picture of what it is we're doing. So our entire platform is called a 3D platform. Of course, the most popular part of the 3D platform for now is the Black Wall Street. But I want to explain engage the people. It's where people want to buy anything. They want to buy tissue paper. They want to buy, they want to buy a phone. They want to buy a laptop. They want to buy a shoe, a watch, whatever. So the point of sale is where we engage the people. Now, we are the only people ever in the history of Africa who has tried to control the point of sale across the whole of Africa. Of course, we've seen some little programs from different governments. Like Uganda has to go buy Uganda. Nigeria, they have some other program. They're more like slogans. They're not real. They're not practical. They don't work. Nobody buys those things. But you can see, based on those initiatives, that even the government realized that this is the only way. But just that what they're doing is not well implemented. It's not even implemented at all. It doesn't work. People are starting, even the government is not buying things from overseas, and places like Nigeria, they're importing cars, government, yeah, they are saying buy Nigeria. So this is that we don't work. There's nothing but slogans and taglines. But this is a real thing. It's a real thing because it deals with exactly what you need. So what we start from what people are buying. And that's what the real direct model does. That's what we refer to the direct model as the agent of disruptive commerce. We have to disrupt the commerce. The commerce of capitalism has to be disrupted. To disrupt the commerce of capitalism, the direct model is the agent of disruptive commerce. Well, what does that mean, disruptive commerce? Well, with redirect more, there's more from buying. So people get confused. So you mean I buy something, I'm able to just get points and make investment, and that disrupts the marketplace. So as soon as our platform goes live now in January, you see what we're seeing. Because Africans are understand, oh, you mean everything I buy, I score points, people never buy from any other than simple as that. So we start to disrupt everywhere with every product we offer. Every part of the industry we disrupt the commerce there. If we offer products on our computers, we disrupt the commerce there. So we keep disrupting commerce through redirect more until we snatch ourselves away from the imperialists and the capitalists who are destroying resources. And that's how we completely take over Africa away from the invaders. The next thing on the trading platform, the second kind of trading platform is the Black Wall Street, obviously. Now the Black Wall Street is the second arm there. What does it do? It's responsible for listing all the investments that you can invest when you have gained the points from redirect more. So when you have gained the points from redirect more, you come on the Black Wall Street and see. Now why are we doing that? Because the investment is the vaccine for poverty. When you have investment, because employment, job is good for job creation. We want to create as many jobs as possible in Africa. This platform will create over 20 million jobs by end of next year. But what is it about investment return? Now, investment return is a more sustainable way to keep families than job creation. Because, for instance, a job, you can be sick, you can get fired, something will happen with the job. But when you have investment return, especially from redirect where you can invest in so many different things on the Black Wall Street, and the things you're invested in are need-based things, so most of the time these projects are not going to fail. They are tangible projects, not like UPA. You're invested in things like what? You're like elderly care homes, you see the kind of projects we're invested in. You're invested in a supermarket, and right now we're doing the African Intertrade, where we have to put physically 1.2 million supermarkets across Africa. We have different platforms, these different projects that we're listing on the Black Wall Street, and people will be able to get returns from them. So when a family has, let's say, they've invested over the year, invested over 10, 5, 15, 20 different things, and there are projects, so market, elderly care home, schools, different things that they're invested in through the platform in the Black Wall Street, they're able to get returns from each of these things. So they're getting return of $10 from this one, $5 from that one, $20 from this one. End of the month, they're able to add $80, $90 into their account, and that means that this family is now practically being saved from poverty. And that's why the Black Wall Street is so important. We're going to reduce the amount of Africans who are experiencing extreme poverty because they're able to use points that they've scored from the red ball, and they're able to invest it in projects on the Black Wall Street. The other wonderful thing about the Black Wall Street is that you're able to learn about investment. Training in Africa is learning about investment. So we have a lot of videos that train people on investments, how to invest, how to use your points, what to look for when you're investing, what projects to put your money into. So we keep encouraging the habit of investment. And remember, for the first time, people are not using money to invest, they're using points. So they buy products, real products, and they can score points, and they're able to make investment and get return for their households through those investments and building with the points from the same products that they bought. So that means that people will be able to escape poverty because investment is the vaccine for poverty. Now people will also be able to learn investment management, how to manage their different portfolios. So because the more points you score, the more you're able to, and there are too many different. For instance, we're going to float markets. People can invest in 500, so you have 500 investment markets giving you a return. You see, 6,000 warehouses, we can invest factories, fund factories, see all the different things I've invested in, and see all the different returns that each of those portfolios are giving them. And these are things that you can hand over, also your investment account, and families can hand over to their children. So at the end of the day, we are definitely going to reduce poverty in Africa by hundreds of millions of people. Another thing you're able to find on the Black Wall Street is indicators of economic, state of economic issues and basic human needs. Now, if you look at capitalism, they just tell you about SP 500 and NASDAQ. This does not have any real meaning to people. What we want to understand is how much money is invested in education, what's going into health care, what's going into things that concern us, things that affect people's life every single day. And then the Black Wall Street platform will be able to give indices on the amount of points and investments that are going into different areas, where the consumers are putting those points, and those industries where they're putting those points shows us exactly how our economies are doing in the most basic areas. You have to understand what we're doing that's different from capitalism. Is that capitalism focuses on wants, creating more wants. We focus on basic human needs, meeting basic human needs, not creating more wants. We don't need more wants. We need to count one before we count two. You see, we have not gotten water in every home. We don't have infrastructure. We don't have jobs. We don't have factories. We don't have basic things. And you're telling us about going to the moon. We can't go to the moon until we finish conquering the earth, please. So that's simply what we're saying. We want to have basic human needs in Africa. We want our economies and our conversation to rotate around how many of our people have basic human needs, what opportunities present for investment in basic human needs so people can get needs in their society. Like those villages that you go to, most of you don't want to go to your villages anymore because the place looks like nothing. There's no development coming there year after year after year after year. There's nothing happening. Why is there nothing happening? Because there's no organized, concerted effort to focus on basic human needs in Africa. And this is the first time it is happening, and it's happening on the Black Wall Street platform. Now, the third part of a trading platform is development channels. Points in those things, but without development channel, it's like the whole thing was just a waste of time. The redirect more on the Black Wall is just nothing but talk. Why? Development channel is responsible for investment, the actual execution of the investments people have made. So if someone has invested in healthcare, that building of that healthcare, that building of that hospital, is development channel takes care of that. So development channel collects those points when they turn into cash from the development channel collects as cash, and is handled by project managers. So the development channel has a sophisticated system where project managers pick those projects people have invested in, whether it's elderly care home, whether it's whatever, whether it's market, and they're able to build out those things physically. Then the people who invested in them will be getting reports as they are building, as they are progressing in construction. Once the funds are complete, the amount of points required are complete, they will get notification. This investment is now moving to execution. The development center takes off from execution, builds down that facility through their project managers. Then the second thing, the development center also has what is called facility managers. So when the project manager is finished, that same project moves to facility managers, Again, all these people are working through the platform from wherever they are. So the rising managers are able to manage that facility and then bring returns to the investors of that facility. So through development channel, there's an execution of the 28 basic human needs, whether it's water, whether it's road, whether it's anything, elderly care home, hospitals, justice, people in prison. You're going to see the different areas of life that we're touching: access to credit, access to periodic income, student loans, Green and Strong, they were elderly people, too many different fantastic programs, forgotten places that we have going on that you will see on the development channel and the Black Wall Street listed. So the development channel does the execution of these projects, makes it become a reality, because we don't invest in empty things. So the project is designed to solve those points by controlling our, like I said, control the economy to redirect more. The points are gained, the money is received from there, and is invested in basic human needs. So we want to use our buying power. The development channel is responsible for that. Also, the 28 apps that gives you access to the basic human needs also is produced by Development Channel through something we call the Development Through Knowledge, the Development Through Knowledge program. So it's through the apps you'll be able to get information, because you can't bridge the development divide, which is what we want to do, between Africa and the West. It's a very big development divide. So to bridge that development divide, we have to first bridge the knowledge divide. Like our people don't know about credit systems. What is a credit card? What is credit score? So when you provide that kind of knowledge, then you're able to first bridge the development divide. For instance, the issues of law. Most Africans don't know what their rights are with the police, don't know their rights with the government, don't know their rights with anything. So empowerment through knowledge is very important. The development through knowledge is a critical aspect of what development channel brings to the table in bridging the development divide between Africa and the West. So development channel is the third entity in the trade platform, and is the entity that's responsible to make sure that those investments that were invested by the public or on the Black Wall Street platform becomes executed, becomes real, tangible, physical projects, and again at the same time provide return for those who invested in them. The next conversation will be on the teenagers' employment movement. Now, one of the biggest problems in Africa is that Africa is not digital at all. Everything is still on paper. And it's ridiculous, everything is still on paper. But we have the people who are obsessed with the internet. And they are our teenagers, our youth. But right now, nobody knows what to do with them. And they are lost. And they are listening to all manner of Western information. And they're just lost on the internet. So constantly online. They're the ones that were born in this millennium where life is all about the internet. And there's nothing we can do. In fact, I'm very certain of this. There's no economic development. In fact, there's no way they're already obsessed with the issues of internet. They don't understand manual things. They don't. So with the foolishness, of course, of government, is always trying to teach those old school people who are already working in ministries for 20 years, and then start teaching them how to do digital. It's ridiculous. What you do is you start with the teenagers who already digital, and you make them do the job. And that's what we're doing. And the teenagers, we have a program to pay them $100 a month. And we're creating jobs for more than 7 million teenagers across Africa. And then they'll also be able to get access to university, to higher education student loans. They get $100 a month plus bonuses. They'll be able to support their family. So we want this, because most of the time American children, they start 15, 16, they start finding ways to prepare, show them little ways for them to get money. But in our own society, they don't talk about money until they finish university. They demand a burden to their parents way into university. I mean, after university, please do you go home and then say, I'm still at home for now. What does that mean? So, and at that time, somebody says, I'm still at home, and they have finished university, and they're still eating their parents' food. Most American teenagers, 18, 19, have already gotten their third or fourth job. So you see the problem. Then we try to compete with them. No, you can't compete with them, it's too late. You have to compete with them by beginning at the age of what? 13, 14, 15, to learn about money. And that is what the teenage employment movement does for Africa. We're going to point about 16 to 19-year-olds in this. We're going to put them in there all over the internet for your information. They're doing nothing there. They're making videos on TikTok. They are clicking on Instagram, posting pictures. They are completely idle. They are wasting resources, subscribing for so many different apps, paying a lot of money to subscribe for these apps, $1 here, $3 here, capital flight going to separate from Africa. So the earlier we catch these teenagers and show them a different direction, the better for Africa, the better for their parents, the better for them. So the teenagers are coming on the platform to do what? They're coming to support contractors. They're not just coming to work on their own. No. They're coming to as assistants. They're known as contractor assistants. So we have mature people, but on our platform, the teenagers are providing support for them. Remember, our platform took us 9 years to design and to build. So you can imagine how much ingenuity, creativity, innovation, just name it, that has gone into the building of the platform. And in this platform, the teenagers provide support to contractors. Some of the contractors, the corporate advisors, they provide support to them. They provide support to the outlets, for market policy holders. They provide support to contractors, project managers on DC, for the facility managers on this, they provide support. Other listed corporations, they provide support. So there are hundreds of thousands, even millions of people on the platform that the teenagers provide support. Practically almost every single business entity on the Black Wall Street platform who is helping one way or the other to fight for Africa's first economic war. Teenagers should be able to get a job to be assistants to those people. The second conversation for tonight is something we call automation. Automation. Some of the investors, some of you might have heard that. Automation is too important. We prayed for it here, we worshipped, we did all the spiritual things that we can to make sure that we have approval from the authority that matters, which is God in heaven, to go ahead with this, because it is too powerful a thing for us to do. For most of you who are talking about your withdrawals, I'll go into that in a minute, but it's only because we've never automated. So we're waiting for someone for you to sign a set approval. Who's going to approve my request? Because we've not yet automated. But what does it mean to automate? Automate means for the system, our system, that we've been building over these 9 years to finally run by itself. Yeah, no manual, anything. So instead of our staff calling investor, calling this one, calling that one, doing target, looking for who is interested, sending flyers, nobody does that. The system does all of that. Advertising goes, people come on the platform runs itself. The platform takes the people, trains them, assigns them position, disqualifies them, approves them. So I created something that's called the intelligent supervisor. The intelligent supervisor is a software that has been added to our platform. The coding should finish by the 3rd or 4th of January, and then we go live. It means everybody who comes on our platform will be supervised by software. And when the software thinks that you need human help, it will allow someone to help you out. So we're able to automate the whole entire system of Redirect Mall, Black Wall Street development. That whole process is now being automated, meaning it works automatically. It doesn't need my help, it doesn't need anybody's help, the system on its own works. And over the time it's going to get perfect, because it's going to head more towards an artificial intelligence driven system where we get the information, able to analyze the data, able to offer the right solutions to people. If the student loans that they lack, we'll be able to give it to them. So it's very much what you see from any Western society. We'll be able to manage our people's profile, be able to give them solutions to their needs, know who is a single mother, know who when they need help for their children. We should be able to have data-driven, constant information of who the Africans are, what their needs are, what their solutions can be, and recommend them to them. And that leads us again to finally what we call the economic system. We're not there yet, but what happens with the automated system is that it drives us towards there. The automated system, as I said, means everything works by itself. This is something that God started. God is the beginner of automated. Why? He created heaven and earth for 6 days. Then the 7th day, so that's why we have to pray for him to give us the wisdom on how he automated the earth. And that's exactly what you're about to see, that we've automated international development. Now, as we're automating international development, there's something very critical. A new Africa can only be created through a social media platform, like I said before. only. There's no other way to do it. There's no movement in the world right now does not have root in social media. So the same way there's no movement to change Africa that will not have root in social media. So we have to create a new social media platform known as the economic circle. There's our ingenuity here. So the same way you have Facebook. Most of you wondering why we're not growing our that's why we don't grow our following on Facebook. We've never grown our following on YouTube. We don't grow our following on those social media platforms. One, they are owned by imperialists. And number two, it's just a waste of money. Why would we do that? We want to be in control of our data. We want to be in control of our information. We want to be in control of what Africans are using. Africans are not going to be trading on foreign platforms. And that's why we have what we call the economic circle social media. You're going to see it very many from people. We've actually finished that one. But we're going to roll it out together with the automation. So in the next 2 weeks, once after this Christmas period, going to the new year, the first 3, 4, 5 days of next year, you will start to see all these things play out. The economic cycle, the automation. Now, the economic cycle is so critical because we are the real reality. So we're talking about reality because what we see, I was trying to express something all today. Capitalists believe in make-believe. There's no reality. So they put you a picture on a billboard of a very lovely shoe worn by a very beautiful girl. And you're like, wow, this shoe will make me beautiful. So it's make-believe. Then you buy the shoe. Maybe you're ugly. You remain ugly even with the shoe. So capitalism makes you believe. It's never the real thing. It's always a facade. They get a commercial, the celebrity, they'll drink because, oh, it's as good as this. So you believe, they make-believe. The idea of capitalism is make-believe. But the idea of compassionate capitalism is just a reality. So we are the reality. But capitalism is running away now because make-believe doesn't work anymore. And that's why they're running to reality TV shows. And they're doing more reality. They're doing more documentaries because people are tired of people want reality. But we don't have to run away and start creating reality. We are what? We are the reality. We are the mother of reality. Somebody say, what does that mean? Why are you the reality? Well, too many reasons. We're the story of Africa delivering itself from imperialists. We're the story of Africa trying to become a superpower. We're the story of Africa coming together to try and create jobs in our society. So it doesn't get more real than the story of Africa delivering itself from imperialists, delivering itself from bondage, breaking away from poverty, bringing development to the communities, cash out, people getting money, people getting jobs, people getting employment, different kinds of stories, real life stories is the story of the Black Wall Street platform and the trader platform. And that's why we must control that. Because our teenagers these days are born into social media world. Like I said, social media world is not a world that's going away. It is the only world. It is the future, it's the present. You've seen it because Africa refused to listen. When we're talking about the internet, and Africa needs to come online, they refused. I stopped preaching it many years ago. I started doing it myself. I left all of you alone. Now they've brought coronavirus, and you have seen now that you are being forced to learn how to use the internet. You have no option than to use the internet. And that's why we must seize the internet. Look at the whole of Africa. What's our social media platform? There's no African social media platform. There's not one. Twitter, foreign. Facebook, foreign. YouTube, foreign. Everything we use is foreign to us. And there's nothing that is designed for us. Like this one is called Economic Circle social media page. And it's designed to discuss our major issue. And our major issue is what? Is economic issues. The ninth conversation is about the 28 apps. The story of this platform is the story of the 28 apps. The 28 apps represent the basic human needs. Next year, of course, we're going to roll out everything you're hearing now will be out next year. The most important ones, first week of January, second one, second week, third week, fourth week. There's no time we're not rolling out some of these things that you're hearing every single time of next year. What we're waiting for right now is the automation to finish so that it works automatically. It's not manual. And some of the investors we spoke to come and help us and do some work because we don't have an automated system. Once we finish automating the system, we don't need to tell you to come and do for work for us because the system will do the work. And that's where we're heading to now. And if you helped us to try and get here, good. If you didn't help us, that's not very good. Because you need to support us until the system can be able to carry itself. So the 28 apps Again, this is the most powerful thing that we have in this organization of the 28 apps. In fact, this house known as the BWS house and the 28 apps. There's all about the 28 apps. So what are they? They're basic human need apps. Each app represents one basic human need. And it's through those apps that we bring that thing called edutainment, where we educate Africans, we entertain them, but we're able to give them information that are critical on education. Look at now, if you turn on the news, all you hear in the news is stories about politicians. That's it. Turn on all the news in Africa, just politicians and their story, that's what you hear. Nothing that affects anybody's life is discussed on those things. So let's assume that issues of student loans come up or issues that concern people. You don't hear it because they are dominated with story of the president and sworn in, and this other person that went here, and this minister that spoke here, and this other person that spoke here. This is the news that dominates Africa. And people are wondering, how do I get information about the seed I should plant in my farm? How do I get information about where to get loans, student loan? How do I get information on how to get mortgages for my home? How do I get information about different things that actually affect people, business loans, pension plans, different things that have real impact in the lives of people? There's no way you can get that information. Nowhere. Nowhere they can get the information in Africa. There's nowhere. So we provide alternative with the 28 apps. You're able to get each thing you're interested in. Whether it's student loans, or the app tells you, gives you news on it and gives you a... Okay. So we're still explaining the Black Wall Street community, 600,000 condos for the community. Now those 600,000 condos, again, this is a city that we are building here. Because it's a city, it's obvious, it's a city. The community has 600,000. So we want to make sure that it is better than what was burnt down. Because like the Phoenix, I think you've heard of some of you have heard of the Phoenix. Yeah, it comes back, my friend. And that's the thing about the Black Wall Street community, the Phoenix. And it's going back next year. There's nothing any human being can do to stop it. It's going back next year. Yeah. And it's going back stronger than it was before. And it's going back with those 600,000 condos. Now, those 600,000 condos are being sold to African Americans, our staff. We have a program called App Trainers. App Trainers. Now, the thing about these app trainers, because we have those 28 apps, and we have 600 jurisdictions, so we practically have 1,000 app trainers per jurisdiction. And the app trainers are also pushing the same thing to different economic systems. So what we do with compassionate capitalism is, you understand again with time, we have to build economic systems for each continent. So the leverage of the African Americans is that the African Americans are able to sell across all continents because they've lived in America for so long. So they're able to use the same skills of capitalism to promote compassionate capitalism to everywhere where it can be sold, beginning from Africa. So we're going to be able to sell this across to India, to Bangladesh. And for your information, we have tested our programs with all those countries. With all those, India, we get the same kind of responses. People say, wow, this is so wonderful. Why don't you bring it here? So we get the same kind of response that we're seeing in Africa from different parts of the world. Why? Because capitalism has destroyed everybody. Of course, Africa has got the worst destruction, but everybody has had a pain of capitalism. And I'm more than willing to embrace anything that can bring a solution. Now, what's the most important is about those 600,000 people that are our app trainers that were relocated from the United States of America to here. We're offering them dual citizenship, ability to be able to be Africans, of course, live here, and also be able to be Americans. So some of them will stay permanently, some will come and go, but we're building a city here in Uganda. We're going to unveil this Black Wall Street community exactly 100 years from the time it was burnt down. I remember it was burnt down May 31st and June 1st of 1921, May 31st and June 1st of 1921. So that makes it 100 years next year, exactly. And if it really is the Phoenix, then 100 years next year, the same thing that was burnt down by capitalists is going to come back and destroy capitalism. Now, what is most interesting are the kind of numbers we're expecting from, because you're investors. Some of you want to know, okay, what does that mean in terms of money? The app trainers and those 28 apps driven by the app trainers, our numbers easily project to $1 billion every day. This is what we're looking at from the 600,000 app trainers, being able to push the 28 apps. There's something we also have called the teachers' revenue source, which the app trainers manage teachers across the world explaining compassionate capitalism. We also have something called the performance enhancer, which the app trainers manage models who are promoting, again, compassionate capitalism on the 28 apps. So those efforts combined will expect revenue sometime next year. By the time we put all this together and the Americans come into the picture, by this time I'm talking to you, we might be heading towards our revenue of $1 billion every single day. Then summary, just the small little details, very small, like computer, tablet, dividend, cash apps. I'm going to end on those notes. Most importantly, you've understood what we're doing, what you have supported, the trading platform, Redirect More, the revolution to turn our buying decisions to our key out of our economic hardship in Africa. And now on your own summary, and most of you should understand this, we were never focused on the product, computer, tablet. Of course, it's what we're supposed to give you. But we're more focused on the platform. That's what we've been doing. So you see our revenues, everything, the platform. Everything we're doing, we're trying to make sure that we have the platform, because your interest as an organic investor is in your returns. Your interest is not so much in the computer tablet. So we place the computer tablet as second, even fourth priority in what we do with funds. I'm just giving it to you raw. And so, but we still have tablets on ground, and we're still going to make sure every single one of you is going to get the tablet you paid for. But you might delay. Why would you delay? Because you're going to get also cash out, because you're also getting dividend. You're going to withdraw your dividend. So we're not really concerned. If you want to know the truth, me personally, as long as you're going to investor, that you didn't get a tablet doesn't make me lose my sleep in the night. It does not. Why? Because I'm sure you're going to get return on investment. I'm sure you're going to get the tablet. I'm sure you're going to get the cash out. So for those reasons, you have to wait when you have to wait. But for now, we can tell you that we have tablets online in Nigeria, so make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do in supporting us. I think there's still about 500. What's the director? Charles, you still have 500 tablets? 500, yes, yeah, there's still 500 tablets there, so most of you, it will cover most of you, because you're not that many. So do what you can do so you can ship it to you. It's there. It's been there for weeks. But it's my policy that if you're not helping us, then you take us as your slave, and we're not your slave. So you have to support us, they will send you tablet, I guarantee you that. Just show them some kind of help before we automate. Once we automate, we don't need your help anymore. You relax and you enjoy the system and make your withdrawals. But for now, don't be an African. Be somebody who understands that you must pay a price to get the prize that you want. So there's over 500 tablets actually, heard from the director, is still in Nigeria right now, that's not been shipped to anybody. And then in Cameroon too, there's about 50 different tablets there. So different parts of play. We can move tablets around to most of the American investors, pretty people, help us so that we can do it. Now talking about dividend withdrawals. Now we have been paying you dividend. Why? Because we believe that if we're taking too long, it's our fault. It's not your fault. Hello? If we're taking long, whose fault? It's our fault. So we keep giving you a dividend. So you're losing nothing. So once we automate, you withdraw your dividend. Some of you say, why are you giving us dividend? Yet you were not able to withdraw. So that we make sure that the time that you were waiting while we were getting our stuff together, you did not lose what? Anything. Because this is what happened to most corporations. They say, well, we're not broken even. So next year again, they say, we're not broken even. Then the year after again, they say, we're not broken even. 10 years, they're still deceiving you, they're not broken even. There's nothing coming to you. So we don't want that situation. So we make sure that we're not wasting your time. Every month, as we promise, you're getting what? You're getting something. Then when we automate, you're able to withdraw. Is that clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Now the issues of cash out. So talking about withdrawals, immediately after automation, you can withdraw automatically. You don't need anybody to approve for you. The automation requires that you just click withdraw request. It goes to the facilitator, and as long as you have the money in your account, it will give you your money. Simple as that. The system will give you the money. So that's how the automation of. But then when it comes to the cash out, in the beginning, again, the cash out will begin the same time automation starts for withdrawal. But in the beginning, we're going to be approving the cash out. We're going to invite a lot of people here to the Black Wall Street house to collect their cash out. 30,000. We're going to also have like 5 slots. You're going to come up with a business plan because again, we don't want a situation where we'll give you $150,000. Let's say you have 5 slots. We'll give you Africa's people $150,000 and you ship it to Europe and go and buy Mercedes-Benz and BMW. Well, no, that would be a waste of everything that we have suffered to do. So as much as we respect that it's your money and it's something that we promise and we're giving to you, we really want to be part of making sure that that money not only sustains you, but also helps Africa to continue to develop. We don't want to do the same thing that people are doing. So most of you expect that we're going to invite you here. We'll keep inviting you here. It's going to be all over the videos. When you come here, you come to the house, we put you in a hotel. If you're from outside the country, if you're from inside the country, you come here, you sit down, you go to the reception, you come, you meet with me, you tell us what we're doing. Everything's going to be on camera. They're doing this cash out, different video clips, so you will collect this money. Then when we have done a lot of the cash out physically, people are coming, people are video, people are receiving. At the point when we get bored of it, of course, the cash out also becomes automated, where you just click on it from wherever you are and you're able to withdraw $30,000. So I think we have actually touched every single thing that was advertised. The summary of it is that Africa must right now become a great, great, great nation. One nation that is great. We're going to destroy the European borders. Because we're not going to control the economy for nothing. We control the economy to make change in the society. And the change we're going to make is that we're going to have 0 borders here. It's going to be one Africa. We're going to speak with one voice. We're going to deal with our issues as a people. We're going to make sure that Africa becomes a superpower that has its own systems. We're the extension of Europe, my friend. We are independent. We're different people from Europeans. So we must develop a system that is peculiar to us, that is unique to us, that is not European, that is African. Which is why we're pushing what we call the Ubuntu spirit, the compassionate capitalism, the belief that we can rise together as a people. And on that note, it's been a wonderful pleasure speaking to you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. 2021 is going to be full of rain, full of withdrawals, full of happiness for our investors. And we wish you well. We want the Lord to keep you alive, keep you healthy, so that you can reap the rewards of all your hard investments, your patience, your sacrifice, your support over these years. The Lord bless you. And on that note, we say, Africa! 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 In a big world! God bless you. Have a good night.
Good evening, Africa. Once again, we are just done with the section we had with the chairman tonight, as we said to you.
Yeah, Esther, it was loads of reality, and the chairman was on point, and I believe Africa, you all enjoyed the whole information put out to you, and the year is almost ending, and expect rain in 2021.
All right, madam, we are so sorry to take a little bit of your time, but we already know by the introduction of the chairman that you're one of the sons of God. And so tonight we want to know, as a son of God, the whole of this meeting tonight, everything that happened, how does it make you feel?
You know, the scripture says that a child is born, but a son is given. A son is expected to be the extension of the father, or the continuity of the father. Now, the father is where it is being sourced from. then the son continues with it. So I see a son as somebody that continues in the execution of the will of the father. It doesn't have to stop. That the father is dead or that the father is retired or whatever will not make his will to stop. So as a son, you continue from where your father started. So as a son, I am the continuity of my father.
Mr. Joseph is actually wearing one beautiful African attire also. Mr. Joseph, it's nice having you here.
Thank you.
Okay, you were here from the beginning of the meeting. We saw you from the beginning of the meeting, even all through to the end. And I specifically saw the way you actually paid detailed attention to what the chairman was talking about. I would like to you to tell Africans how this meeting has impacted you as an organic investor that you are.
Okay, as an organic investor, one of the things that I see happen here tonight is that there's that reassurance and hope. You see, there is nothing challenging for you as an investor than when you make an investment and you are not sure of what is going to happen. But everything that played out tonight has shown to me that we are in the right track. And I am convinced that our investment is in a good hand, and there is no doubt, no question of the fact that there is no success ahead. So that is one of the assurance that I have in this meeting tonight. And now I can go to bed and sleep comfortably, more and better as an investor. Although I'm a risk taker, but you know, it is not also proper to take a foolish risk. When you take risk and you are sure of what is going to happen at the end of the day.
We want to have an opportunity with Mr. Adebakin tonight. Mr. Adebakin, we are so proud of. So, Mr. Adebakin, it's nice having you here. And we actually watched you pay a whole lot of attention when the chairman was talking. As a matter of fact, I think I saw you taking some notes.
Yes.
That was so nice of you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, now, as a staff with the Black Wall Street, we want to know, how long have you been a staff with this organization?
I've been here for 7 years, and this is my 7th year. And it's been a long journey. It's been an interesting one. Like the chairman said, the development of the program, the organization, and what we've been doing is been amazing. It's not been easy. It's not been straightforward. We made a lot of mistakes. We made a lot of success. We made a lot of triumphs. But at the end of the day, what I want to tell our investors is that the next 6 months, all your commitment, all your contributions, all your effort will yield fruit. The seeds that you have planted as organic investors, we can assure you that when we go automated, when the systems go live, you will begin to see the essence of the development that we have done in the last 9 years. This organization has done a lot in 9 years, and this is the time for every organic investor, whether you are a UPAP investor, whether you are a compassionate UPAP, lifetime UPAP, whatever program that you have invested in our organization, the 9 years that we have used to make that happen is going to be birthed with quality and beautiful return. As the chairman said, next year is going to be rain, 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 rain.
Okay, Mr. Emeka, thank you very much for your time as an organic investor. We want to have an understanding of what tonight's meeting has done for you, because one of the things the chairman mentioned was the fact that organic investors should play a contributive role to building the platform. So what is your take on that after what he has explained tonight? How did that really sound to you, or what can you really make out of it?
I simply use one analogy. If you can talk about Jesus Christ or Muhammad, who you have never met, and you cannot talk about the organization you invested your money and resources in, you're a hypocrite. So I am one of those who have been given right to 50 outlets by getting people's market outlet owners through my own special unique link as an organic investor. And if you're an organic investor, you're not playing an active role to ensure that we create job opportunities for members of our family, friends, relatives, and those who are looking for a job, then you are not contributing to the growth of this organization. And you, as an organic investor, has a right to empower over 250 people within your community, within your acquaintance, to be part of this wonderful organization for the development and liberation of Africa. The economy of Africa is very important to any organic investor. Otherwise, people like us who are entrepreneurs will not be able to survive in Africa. The imperialists will come and take over our businesses, and then will still ask us to work for them.
Okay, thank you very much for tonight. We really appreciate you for everything, all the people that attended. On this note, we say
Africa
first,
economic war.
We